Today, most of the retrieval augmented generation systems are only text-based. However, in real world, you have multimodal data in your documents, including images and tables. In this video, I'll show you how to build a multimodal RAG system that will be able to process images, text, and tables. We're going to look at both proprietary API-based solution as well as a local solution that you can run privately. Here is how a normal setup for a text-based RAG system looks like. We chunk our documents, create embeddings, but now what if the documents contain images and tables? Traditional approach is something like this. So we parse those images and tables from the documents, and then we use a vision language model to generate captions, and then embed those captions as a part of the embedded chunks. So essentially, we're going to be converting images into text-based markdown. As you can see, there is a potentially huge issue with this approach. You lose a lot of contextual information, and also the description is based on the LLM or the vision language model that you are using along with the prompt. So you need to be very thorough in your prompting. What if you were to be able to directly process this image as a part of your indexing process? In some of my previous videos, we looked at an approach called ColPali, which actually enables you to do exactly that. So it takes images of the pages, directly encode them using a vision encoder, and then create embeddings. Now, the problem with this approach is that the embeddings that are created are based on late interactions. So you are going to end up with multi-level embeddings for each of the patches. So the memory requirements are pretty huge, and most of the existing vector stores do not support this multi-level representation. But recently, Cohere, which is Frontier Foundation model company, they introduced Embed 4, which is their multimodal embeddings for multimodal search. Their benchmark shows that this new embedding approach is able to get state-of-the-art results on vision-based retrieval. Even it's beating something like ColQuinn, which was built on top of ColPali. So this is extremely promising. And the good thing is that they generate embeddings of fixed size. So you can use those embeddings directly with vector store of your choice. Here is how the workflow is going to look like. So we're going to create embeddings of the images of all the pages within a document or set of documents. Then we put those inside a vector store. Whenever the user query comes in, we use the same embed v4 model to generate embedding of the user query. We'll do retrieval, and then we pass on the query along with the retrieved images to a multimodal model like Gemini, and that should be able to generate answers. The code that I'm about to show you is based on a post from Niels Reimers, who is the VP of AI Search at Cohere. Before looking at the implementation, let's also talk about the cost of using multi-vector representation or even these multimodal vector representation of images. Now, the good thing is that they are dynamic in size. So you can select 3 different sizes of your embedding vectors, starting from 512 all the way up to 1536. But you can actually quantize these embedding vectors, and that will save you a lot both on compute as well as on storage cost. The idea is that just like quantization of LLM weights, you can also quantize the resultant vectors that are generated by an embedding model. And if you look at this plot, if you, let's say, use the 4-bit or 8-bit quantization, it actually preserves a lot of performance relative to using 32-bit. It gives you very similar level of performance at a much reduced cost. I have covered embedding quantization and their impact on the retrieval performance in one of my previous videos. If you are interested, link is going to be in the video description. Also, if you're interested in learning RAG techniques beyond basics, I just updated my advanced RAG course. It contains topic on multimodal vision-based RAG systems and contextual retrieval. So do check it out. Link is going to be in the video description. Okay, so let's look at the code implementation. This is going to be based on an example that was shared by the Cohere team. In the first part, we're going to be using their proprietary API for using the multimodal embedding model. But later on, I'll show you how you can replace this proprietary API with a local model, and you'll get very similar results. We're going to first embed our images in this proprietary API with a local model, and you'll get very similar results. So going back to this, we're going to first embed our images or our documents using the Embed 4 model. We'll do retrieval based on those embeddings, and then we'll need to pass those on to a vision language model, something like Gemini or GPT 4.1, to generate the final responses. Okay, so we're going to install the Cohere Python package. Then first we need an API key. So go to Cohere, create an account, and then click on API keys. They give you the ability to try the services out using trial keys. You can see I have a whole bunch of them. So if you want to put it in production, create a new production key, or to get started, just create a new trial key, and you can test this out for free. Next, we're going to create the client. We also need the Gemini API key. You can get that from AI Studio, since we're going to be using the Gemini models for generation part. Okay, so here's a simple helper function that is going to wrap the long text. Now, in order to do search, we basically need to embed images of our documents. So if you have a PDF file, you first want to convert them into images, and then you want to embed those images. Now, in this case, we're going to resize the images. You can change the resolution. This is the max resolution I think they can process. However, depending on the resolution that you choose, the quality could potentially degrade if you use a low resolution image. Okay, so this is basically resizing the images and then converting base 64. That's what you're going to get into an image that you can display. Okay, so first we need some data. So in this example, we're going to be using some images directly from this website, which has some really nice infographics for different companies. So something like this is going to be extremely hard for text-based LLM to process, even if you generate detailed text description before you embed that. But a vision language model can directly process this and answer questions based on the contents. And that's exactly what you're going to see here. Okay, so here are several images from that website. Then we take each of the image. So we basically read the image files. We pass those to the embed v4 from Cohere. We get the corresponding embeddings. Now, right now, we're just creating a NumPy array. But since it's a fixed size of 1536, you could potentially dump this into any vector store of your choice. So for this quick example, there are just 6 different images for different companies and the corresponding vectors. So here is a helper function which gets the user question. Then it uses the same embed v4 model to embed that. We're going to get the API response, which is essentially this multimodal embedding vector representation. Okay, so once we get the embedding vector for our query, then we just need to do a dot product and pick up the image with the highest similarity. So essentially, we are just computing cosine similarity. Okay, so we do the dot product, we get the index of the top image, and we return that image to be processed by the vision language model. So in this example, here is the image that is returned, and now we'll need to pass that on to a vision language model along with the original user query. So this is very similar to our text-based retrieval augmented generation system. You can also add a re-ranker. So let's say you return 5 or the top 5 or top 10 images, and then you can have a vision-based retriever or a vision-based re-ranker setup, which will rank those returned images and pass on to the vision language model. Very similar to the text-based retrieval augmented generation system. All of the principles apply here. The only thing is that rather than chunking your document, you can just directly embed an image of your document. So next we get the question along with the image or the path of the image that was returned by the previous step. We pass it on to Gemini 2.5 Flash preview and we'll get an answer. So let's say if you ask a question like, what is the net profit of Nike? Here is the image path that was returned. Now we pass that to our helper function, which will call the Gemini API. So here's the image that was retrieved. This is most relevant to Nike. And the answer is based on the Nike Q3 financial year 2025 income statement visualization provided. The net profit for Nike ending in February 2025 is 0.8 billion. And you can see that the net profit is mentioned here. It's going to be extremely hard for any text-based system to first convert this infographic into textual information and then try to figure out the answer. So here is another one. What are the 3 largest acquisitions from Google? Now this infographic lists all of them, and basically a vision language model can just look at this and tell you. So for example, in this case, the answer is 32 billion. Motorola Mobility was 12.5 billion and Bendient was 5.4 billion. Okay. You can ask more complex questions. So something like this, what would be the net profit of Tesla without interest? So in this case, it has to do calculations. So here's the net profit, which also include interests. Okay. So if you look here at the answer the Gemini model is generating, it says net profit with interest. Interest is 0.3 billion. So in order to compute the net profit without interest, it has to do a subtraction and then generate answer, right? So the model is not only able to extract information, but it's able to reason on the visual data that it's seeing. And the first step is the retrieval. So you want to have really good retrieval, and based on that, it will be able to generate answers if you use a good enough vision language model. So a couple of more examples. In each of the cases, it does a really good job at generating answers. Now, given that it's a toy example of only, I would say like 7 to 8 different infographics, but this should give you a really good idea of what exactly is possible by combining a vision-based retrieval with a vision language model for generation. And I personally see a huge opportunity and actually have seen some applications while working with different clients, because this can do all reasoning on a lot more complex questions. And you don't need any of the pre-processing steps that you would usually do for your text-based augmented generation system. Now, in this example, we mainly looked at image data. You can create images of tables and then process them in a very similar way. Or the Embed model enables you to process text data along with visual data. So let's say if you had a caption for this image, you would embed that along with the image data, and that could potentially give you even further improved accuracy on retrieval. Now, what if you want to keep everything local and you don't want to send any data to a proprietary API endpoint? Well, you can use an approach like ColPali, which will enable you to run a vision-based retrieval system completely locally on your own setup. Now, in this case, I'm going to show you an example of how to use ColPali, but for the vision language model, I will still use Gemini because it's the easiest to set up. However, if you want to look at a completely local solution, I'd highly recommend to check out my open source project called localgpt. And basically what I'm about to show you is implemented as a part of localgpt, but it gives you the ability to choose from a wide variety of models, including completely local models for both retrieval and generation, or you can use a combination of open weight models plus a proprietary API. And if you like the project, make sure you give it a star. Okay, so in order to use ColPali, we're going to be making use of the BLD package, which enables you to run ColPali or ColQuinn-like models for image-based retrieval. Okay, so first we need to install that. We also need the popular package for converting our PDF files into images. You will also need your Hugging Face API token. I am going to be removing this after recording the video. Then we use the BLD package to load the ColPali model. As I said, you can use the Quinn polymath models. They will give you similar performance. Then we point it to the folder where we stored all the images, and this is going to create an index for us. Now the setup is very simple. This is going to be a local index. All you need to do is just call the search function along with your question. So it will compute embeddings for this question based on the ColPali model, and we only wanted to return the top image that it thinks is the most relevant one. So you get the results. Now, since these are individual images, you're going to have different doc IDs. Now we convert that image stream into image bytes, and we can show the results. So for example, for the first question, what is the net profit for Nike? Here is the result from the retrieval step. So we can see that it correctly identified that we need to use this specific image or document. The next question is about largest acquisition from Google. So again, you can see that it does the correct retrieval. Here's the Tesla one. And just like the previous case, you're going to feed this returned image along with the user query to something like Gemini. Okay, so this was a quick example of how to do vision-based retrieval. I do believe that search or retrieval in enterprise is one of the biggest problem that is yet to be solved. And there is a lot of opportunity in it. If you're building any retrieval system, make sure you do check out my advanced RAG techniques course. Or if you need professional help or advising services, I do offer them now. Details are in the video description. Anyways, I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.